welcome to this channel, Nail Media, where we talk about different web-related stuff, mostly WordPress related for now. Of course, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe below it. There's a little subscribe button and there's a little bell icon also. If you click on that, you'll be notified as soon as there's new video updated. So this video was part of a two-video series where I'm talking about new backup, let's say, pro version backup of two different tools that have been released in the past month. So the first video was on WPVivid Pro, which is a backup plugin. And this one is on WP Reset Pro, which is not necessarily a backup plugin, though it can do something similar. But as they say themselves in the videos, it's not a migration plugin and it's not a backup plugin. So they encourage you to still use migration plugin like WPVivid Pro or Duplicator or things like that. Or, of course, also for backups, Backup Buddy, WPVivid Pro, or any other backup like Updraft plugin. They still encourage you to use those, okay? So it's really up to you because, of course, there are some features that can recoup a little bit. So this is the WP Reset WordPress website. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing for now about the Pro version. This is about the free version that you can download, and it will take you to the probably the WordPress repository. If you do that, yeah, wordpress.org. So that's for the free version that I'm going to show you as well. I'm going to compare them side by side. So all the features here that you have is for the free version as well, of course. So what is a reset plugin, by the way? It allows you to go back to a previous step. Usually a reset plugin, it allows you to go back to the first installation of WordPress. In other words, without any plugin, themes, and so on. With everything, every post, every pages deleted, every image deleted, and so on. Some other plugin will still keep the plugins and themes there, just not activated. So you need to manually delete them after. I think it's the case with the free version of WP Reset as well. Okay, so you have a one-click reset to go back to the original state. Let's say it like that. You have other features. I won't go through all of them. Database snapshot, so you can take your own snapshot. This is where it comes really close to a backup plugin, because you can take a backup, you can take a snapshot. Pretty similar. Not exactly the same thing though, because the snapshot allows you to go back to that step, to that state, let's say it like that, but not necessarily to restore from scratch or to copy that on another website and restore it. So that's why they say it's not a backup plugin. Database difference viewer, so compare two versions of the database. Reset tool that you can change, you can select which one you want. Plugins and theme collection, so you can create your own collections of plugins and themes that you use over and over again. So you create a new website, you install WP Reset, and then from the cloud you can retrieve all the plugins and themes that you install on each and every site. That could be really useful. The free version only takes the plugins and themes that comes from the WordPress repository, in other words wordpress.org, where you have plugins and themes. The pro version would allow you to upload the premium, let's call them like that, the premium plugins that are not on the WordPress repository, that are usually paid, and also insert your license key at the same time, by the way, so you don't have to copy it and paste it every time that you install those plugins. So with a click of a button, whether you use the free or pro version, you can install all your plugins and themes that you use on each and every site. So that's pretty powerful. By the way, the Pro version has the feature to upload your zip file for paid plugin or themes, but it's not available yet. Probably later this month or in a month, something like that. But for now, it's not available yet. So for now, as we speak, on January 20, it's the same thing as the free one. Nuclear Reset allows you to really wipe everything and go back as if you install WordPress anew. One thing that really cool is you can change WordPress version. Even if you install WP Reset after having updated all your plugins and themes and so on, you can still go back to a previous version of WordPress. which is not necessarily the case, for example, of a plugin. If you have already updated the plugin before installing WP Reset, you cannot go back to the version before installing WP Reset because there was no snapshot created. Okay, but it's not the case with WordPress version. If I compare with the Pro version that is not there, for now you need to have been on MarkTech, and I don't know if there was a beta that you can subscribe to just like WPVivid, but anyway. So that's a link here that I won't show you. I'm telling you, I won't show that link because I don't want to be responsible for showing you something that I don't have the right to. But if you do a little quick research, you'll probably be able to find that link anyway. So this link allows you to buy the Pro version as a lifetime license. Now, Pro version is not available yet. Of course, well, it is available for those who have the link, but what I mean is on the main website, like I said, they only talk about the free version. Of course, the Pro version, once it's gone, the lifetime deal is gone, they're surely going to add it to their main website as well, but it will be a yearly license. So right now, until January 23rd, as you can see here, you can still buy the agency license or any other license, the lifetime license, I should say. They only mention here the agency license. I don't know if that's because I was a specific link or what, but they're supposed to have 500 license for each of them. Each of them, which is, as you can see here, the personal license is for 3 sites, the theme license is for 30 sites, and the agency is unlimited. And as you can see, you have more than that. Okay, even if you just have 30 sites, especially if you have the 40% rebate, then it's really worth it to go with the agency because not only do you have more websites, but they have decided to add that because some people were complaining about it. They decided to add the lifetime cloud for 10 sites. Cloud is simply where you will be able to manage your licenses and your sites. If I understand well, everybody will be able to have access to the cloud where you will be able to manage your license, and it's not available yet, by the way. It's not released yet, it's in beta version, so we don't have access to it unless you are a beta tester. So you'll be able to manage your license from there, but that's about it. If you buy a cloud license, which will be separated from those, then you will be able to also install, delete, update, and so on from one interface, which is the cloud interface. But the managing the license should be available for everybody. Now they decided to give you 10 sites license with the agency, and of course if you need more than that, then you'll need to pay a yearly fee for that. Also, you have all the agency features. Well, for now, to be quite honest, there's no agency features. You only have the Pro features, and that means that they expect to have more exclusive things for agency features, but we don't know what they are as of today. You also have the white label option that is only available for agency. Some people have complained about that, and they might change it, but for now, it's only available with white label as a white label option. The WP Reset dashboard. So this is what I told you to be able to manage your license. So sorry, I made a mistake here. Looks like it's going to only be available with the agency. So how will you be able to manage your site license if you don't have the dashboard? That's a good question. So not sure how it's going to work for other people that don't have the agency license, to be quite honest. They also offer a 3 payment plan. By the way, you only pay $12 more if you use that plan. So that might be worth it a lot. Now, what will be the cost after the lifetime? I don't know. Probably lower than that because usually lifetime license are higher. That being said, we support early. By the way, they had a Black Friday deal as well that I wasn't able to get because there was just the 5 license left, I think something like that when I saw it. That add the cloud license included. That's why some people complained and they decided to add 10 sites on the agency one. So Will they at some point release lifetime license or Black Friday or things like that? I don't know. They say that it's the only chance. Is it true or not? We don't know. So what are the pro features? Your own time machine, so you can update whenever you want. Again, I won't go through all of them. Install favorite plugin with one click. My understanding is that it's the same thing as the collection. So not necessarily something more here. So nuclear reset and so on. These are all in the free version as well. Okay. WPCP Hero, because of the admin, is different. You have the cloud that is available, but as an additional option. White label, again, only for agency, and so on. Centralized management, again, coming in mid 2020. So that's probably what they call the dashboard. Okay. So let's see in real time what does that mean. And by the way, they mentioned that as of today, January 20, there's only 68 agency license left, but there might be more of the other two if you need one of those two. Again, you need to have the special link, by the way, to be able to do that. All right, so let me show you side by side. On the left side, I have the pro version. On the right side, the free version, to be able to compare them side by side. Of course, the first thing that you need to do with WP Reset Pro is enter the license key. And by the way, I really like that. WP Reset Pro don't need to have the free version installed. And I mentioned it on the WPVivid review. If you listen to it, you need to have the free and the pro version, and I really hate that. Let's be honest. If you want to install the free version, you can always do that. If you install the pro, that's because you want to have the pro. Why having to install two different plugins, maintain two different plugins? That's really annoying. So WP Reset understood that, and if you install the pro, you get rid of the free, and if you already have the free, you can simply delete the free after. So you don't need the free version when you have the pro one. So let me pause the video and enter my license key and activate it. So once it's activated, you will have another tab here called license, where you can go and you will see, of course, your license key there. And that's one of the problems. The license key appeared there. And that's why you might want to do what I did, enable white label. And if you do that, then that tab disappears. And there's a couple less elements here in the support as well. So they say white label, but it's not really like white label, sorry. You hide the license key and that's about it, because it still shows you clearly that it's WP Reset. So you cannot say that I want to remove that logo and not tell everybody that I'm using WP Reset. You won't be able to do that. So it's not true white label. I don't know if it's going to change, but it's not the case for now. Like I said, there's a couple of links here for support that has been removed at the same time. Now, if I go to my Reset tab, you see that it's going to look a little bit different. So there are more details in the Pro version, but it's basically the same elements. So if I go below that table here, what happens when I use it? That's the same thing as what we have here. So that's a little summary of what it's going to delete and what it will not delete. And by comparing those two, which I won't do right now, you'll see that in the free version, you have the site reset. In the pro version, you also have the options reset and the nuclear reset that they mentioned, by the way, on the free the free website, but doesn't seem to be available unless it's somewhere else. Anyway, so you have a table here that I'm going to come back to later on. And these options here refer to that. So see the table above to know what's going to happen depending on the option that you choose. In the free version, we just have one option. So if you choose to use the options reset, you're going to just change the database. No files will be touched. Okay? And if you want to know what's going to happen, you have those three columns: option reset, site reset, and nuclear reset that go with those three options. Okay? So when you have a check mark, it means that it's not changed. When you have a little cross like that, red cross, that means that it's going to change. In other words, it will delete it. So in other words, when you use option reset, the only thing that it's going to do is change the options for the widget, the transient, and the options for the settings from the WordPress itself, the plugins or themes. And also, no, that's the only thing, sorry. That's the only thing that it's going to do, reset the options. If, by the way, you have little options here as well, if you use that one, you can reactivate the current theme, which is 2020 in my case, and you can also reactivate the other plugin. My only plugin that is activated right now is WP Reset, so even if you don't check that, I think it's going to reactivate it anyway. But you might have to check it. Don't remember. I think it was checked by default anyway. If you use the site reset, now it will reset a lot more things. So it's probably easier to say what it will not reset. It's going to remove all the pages, comments, and so on, but it will not remove the media files. Okay? It's going to remove the media, but not the media files. In other words, I think they're still going to be in the media folder here, but not linked to any, of course, post. But they're still going to be in the uploads folder. Not sure, though, if they're going to appear in the media here library. Of course, it keeps the current user, but deletes all other users. It's going to keep the WordPress elements, like, for example, the title and, of course, the URL and so on, time zone and so on. And the site language, it's going to keep that as well. And all of those plugins and themes elements as well. So in other words, deletes the content. And finally, the nuclear reset is going to remove everything except the current user and the site basic elements like the title and URL and so on. Also, if you have other database tables, it will not touch them. So of course, if you created your own database tables, in other words. So nuclear reset is the most, I don't know if I can say powerful one. One drawback that I found about nuclear reset that is not too convenient is that it really removes everything, including the default theme, in my case 2020. So if my default theme is something like Astra or something like that, then it might be okay. But I was expecting it to reinstall the default WordPress theme. So for example, with WordPress 5, 5.3 anyway, it's going to be the 2020. I was expecting it to reinstall it. So it still says that that's the one that is activated, but it won't work because there's no theme. So you need to reinstall the 2020 theme. So I hope at some point that they're going to change that to at least go back to the default theme. So site reset, you can reactivate reset plugin, which is checked by default, and you can reactivate all other plugins that are currently active. Same thing for the theme. Okay, and you always have to type in reset, by the way, because it's more, it does more damage, so they need you to confirm, which is not the case with this one. So that's what I was referring to. Reset is usually separated from all the other plugins, so maybe not in this case here. Never tested it, to be honest. A nuclear reset, and by the way, as you can see, this one only changed database as well, while nuclear reset wipes out everything, your files, your folders, your plugins, and so on. So there's no undo as they mentioned here. Okay, so be careful if you use that. So that's for the main reset. And by the way, like I said, this one is simply the site reset, so it has the same option as the site reset itself. And you don't have the options in nuclear reset. And you can create a manual snapshot, by the way, which you don't in the Pro version. And the reason is simply because it automatically creates a snapshot each and every time. So you don't have to manually think of doing it. In the tools, you see we have a few more tools in the Pro version than in the free version. So reset theme options, we do have it. It's just placed differently. So be careful. Delete transient in both places. Purge cache is only in the Pro version. And these are just links to the below elements, by the way. So that allows you to purge a cache of your themes if you have any. And of course, if you have any plugins, that the main plugins are supported: W3 cache, WP cache, Lightspeed, Endurance, SiteGround, WP Fastest Cache, and Swift Performance are all supported. So it's going to delete the cache of those plugins as well. Delete local data is only on this one. The content as well, only in Pro. Widget as well. Themes and plugins is available in the free version as well. MU with multi-user plugins and drop-ins is only in the Pro version. The clean uploads is only in the Pro. No, sorry. Clean uploads is in both of them. But WP content is only in the Pro version. And tier delete custom tables is in both. Switch WordPress version is only in the Pro version. So this is the second item that you see on the, if I go bring that back, you see in the main site here that you can go change the WordPress version and you can do nuclear reset and the, okay, that's it. So those two elements should be in the free version, but we don't see them. So switch WordPress version is not available here. So will they add it later on? I don't know. They say it's available, so it's not mentioned directly that it's only in the Pro version or that it's available in the free version. But since there's no any mention of a Pro version, we expect that it is. So that's a little bit strange that it's not right now. So anyway, let's go with the options one by one. So reset the theme option. It will modify the database. Okay, so it will reset all the options of your theme. Not delete the theme, not change it or anything like that, but just reset the options to their default. Some theme, of course, already have an option to do that, but if not, then you have it here with WP Reset. Transient are temporary files in the database when you do different things, and of course they become orphaned over time. So that allows you to delete those, both in the free and paid version. Purge cache, as I already mentioned, you can purge a cache. Delete local data. So you can delete the local data only or the cookies. I'm not sure that local data will delete also cookies, maybe, but if not, you can do them one after the other. Delete content. Then you select the database and you select what you want to delete. So you can delete posts, you can delete pages, or of course you can select everything. So if I just want to delete the comments, I can just click on that and click delete content. So that way it will only delete the comments. Okay. So I would have probably to refresh to see that it's, here we go, that it's deleted. So I can delete just one type, and of course it supports custom types as well. Delete widget, so we can delete all the widgets that we have added in the appearance widgets here. So this is something that is not available in the free version. We can delete all the themes, including the current one. That's what I was thinking and were referring to previously in the nuclear reset. It's gonna even remove the current one, which is not necessarily a good idea. They should add an option to at least keep the current one or something like that. Delete all the plugins except WP Reset. This one will always stay. MU plugins are located in the MU plugins folder. So some plugins will install there because they have specific needs. So they call MU for must use plugin, not multi-user. Sorry, I think I mentioned that by mistake. So they are activated by WordPress and blah, blah, blah. So you can delete them here, must use plugins and drop-ins as well. They show you about advanced cache, for example. They do have those elements that are not necessarily deleted when you delete the plugin, by the way. So WP Reset will help you on that. Clean the upload folder, so the uploads will be deleted. So file associated with media entries will be deleted too. So of course, if you do that, and if you have any media inside your posts or pages, of course, they're going to be deleted at the same time. WP content folder. So uploads folder is a subfolder of WP content, but only the uploads are going to be deleted. If you clean the WP content, then it's going to delete everything, the MU plugins, theme, uploads, and so on. Some plugins also add other folders. They should be deleted as well. So for example, what's his name? The for plugin for optimizing images like short pixel or creating folders. So they will probably be deleted as well. Empty or delete custom tables. So if you create custom tables, okay, only tables with the WPMS in this particular case, that's because it automatically detects the prefix of your current WordPress installation. So as you can see here, by the way, WPMS, if I do the same thing here, you see that it's not the same prefix. So it automatically detects it. So if you create a custom table but give it the same prefix, then it's going to be deleted at the same time. If you create a custom table but don't give it the same prefix, it will not be touched. Okay, only tables with this prefix. There are no custom tables, so that's why it's not available. Here, it doesn't tell you. They just put them grayed out. But if you don't have any tables, of course, there's nothing to delete. Switch WordPress version. So that's what I told you. You can go back to your previous version of WordPress, even if it was before you installed WP Reset, because you have all the WordPress versions available until even WordPress version 1 in 2007. So could be really useful if you update one plugin or theme that is not well compatible yet with the latest version of WordPress. Then could be a good way to go back to a previous version of WordPress to make it compatible until hopefully they fix it. You even have the alpha version available, by the way, as you can see. So could be good for a testing site, of course, not a live site. Refresh list in case they release others. Of course, I installed it this morning, so it's not the case. And finally, you can delete the Htaccess file, again, only in the Pro version. No, sorry, it's available on both. I didn't remember seeing the link. So if you have an Htaccess version, you can have security plugins or things like that that will modify it, and you want to go back to the original Htaccess, you simply delete it. WordPress will probably create one for you, but if not, you simply go into the settings permalink and you resave it, and it's going to create a new Htaccess file with just the basic features of WordPress. So a couple of lines, in other words, for the permalinks. Okay, so it will delete it, not reset it or things like that, but you can easily create a new one by doing this settings permalink and resaving that. So that's the individual tools, and sometimes it might be easier to just, for example, delete all your plugins than to reset the entire site. Snapshots. So again, the options are pretty similar between the free and the pro version, except that you can see the user created snapshot versus the automatic snapshot that are taken automatically. You can change that in the settings. But each time that you update, just like WPVivid Pro, by the way, when you make an update to a plugin, a theme, or even probably WordPress itself, it's going to create a snapshot automatically at the same time. Okay, and I have many snapshots created just because I have deactivated and reactivated some plugins. So you can see that it has created snapshots automatically. While in the free version, you only have the manual one. That's why it's not specified. You can only create manual snapshots. Collections is what I referred to previously. So they say here again on the website, they mention about plugin themes and collections. Plugins and theme collections, sorry. You do have the link here, but it only mentions that it's a pro feature. So it looks like that on their website they are mentioning pro features, not only the free features. Okay. It launches on January 13, which is already done, but it's not available on the free the WP Reset site yet. It's just a secret link. Okay. So again, I have created one just for fun. You create a new collection, okay, and then you name it. Let's say, for example, I don't know, Ocean WP. Of course, usually you will have more than one element inside of it, of course. So inside of that new collection, I can install not install, sorry, but I can add new elements. So plugging our theme. So plug in our themes. Let's say, for example, in this case, a theme. So if I can start to type it, I can install this one. And as you can see here, right now, it's only what is available on wp.org. But later on, we'll be able to click on the zip file and upload our own premium plugins and themes. Coming by January 28th, it says somewhere else, no later than January 28th. So in about a week or so. And you'll be able to also insert your license key so that you don't have to retype it each and every time. But for now, it's only the free ones. So I'm going to add that new item. And of course, I can add as many as I want. So for example, if I always install Contact Form 7, it was always even available here. And I don't know, this is something that you don't have to do with each and every website, of course. Yoast SEO, let's say. And now the advantage of that is it's stored in the cloud. Okay, so that's why you can reload, in other words, refresh from the cloud. And when you build a new site, you install, of course, WP Reset, and you go to that collections tab here, and you can come and say, I'm going to install that collection. Or I can install it, activate, just install, delete installed plugins, and then install those, and delete install plugin, and then install but not activate. So of course it won't delete WP Reset, but I already have Vivid and Vivid Pro installed, so I'm going to choose this one. It's going to delete those two, and then install the other plugins and theme. Also deletes the default themes that I already have, which is a good thing. So deletes everything, and then it's going to install my theme and my three other plugins, I think, that I add. So I'm going to simply pause it so that you don't have to wait for that. Here we go. Collection was installed successfully. So now on this new website, I have those plugins and this theme installed and activated. Okay. And of course, we can delete them. The problem with the when we will upload our own plugins, of course, it will probably just take the version that we upload, so it will not go and get the updates for it. So you'll have to manually update them. But of course, the one that comes from the WordPress repository will always have the latest version. And you also see the versions that is installed right there. So that can save a huge amount of time. What I personally do right now, I'm using Backup Buddy. So I have a website that is just for that, where I install my main theme and all the plugins that I'm using. But I have installed many plugins that I won't necessarily use on each and every site, sorry. So I just deactivate them. And then I restore my backup on the new site. And I activate the plugin that I need, and I delete the one that I don't need. But of course, with this option now, I will probably create 2-3 collections, one really basic one, and one with more advanced plugin, one for e-commerce, for example, and one for specific other needs for maybe a specific type of website, e-commerce, another one's for corporate, another one for architects, and that I build a lot where we have rooms and we need toolset plugins and things like that, and so on. So that can save a lot of time. And of course, I won't, in this particular case, need to have a separate website that I need to update in each and every time and create a new backup each time there's a bunch of new updates coming out. So really a time saver here in the Pro version. Then we have the support that is available in both of them. Like I said, if you reset the license key, you'll have a couple of more links here. You can enable the emergency recovery script. By the way, when you install WP Reset the first time, the Pro version anyway, it's going to ask you to create a snapshot right away if you want to do that. And it's going to ask you after that if you want to install the recovery script now or later. And this is a script that is going to be created on your website, and that will allow you to recover any site if it fails. For example, if you do an update and then you just see a white screen after that, How do you go to the administration, log in, and be able to make some modification? It's impossible. And then you're in real problems. But with that recovery script, then it's always possible to create that, go to that special link, and then recover the site from there, which is really great. It's not created right now. They don't recommend that you necessarily create it right away if it's a live site. But if it's a testing site or development site, yes, you should do it. Okay. But you can always do it manually, like I'm going to do right now. So it has been installed. So now it brings me to the settings. But as you can see, we can also remove it. And there's my link here. I'm going to just click on it. And if I browse to that link, let's say that I cannot access my website anymore, and I can always go and browse to that link that you can add to your bookmarks, of course, because you will probably not remember those strange characters that we have here. So you can see everything, and from there you can always scan and reinstall, disable some plugins or all of them, and be able to reinstall and go back to previous states so that you can access your administration and do the modifications as you want them to, as you want to do them. As you can see, you cannot really reset from there. You cannot reset the site. You cannot reset to a particular snapshot. But at least most of the time, you will want to disable plugins, maybe sometime the theme, and that's the main thing that you can do there. Okay, even the core WordPress file can be done. So that can be really useful. That can be a site saver, if I can say it like that. Okay. And I think it's available to do so, of course, if you forgot to or decided not to create the emergency script and suddenly you can't access your website. I think there's a way to create it on the fly as well, but I'm not sure. Then it brought me to the settings page that I purposely skipped previously because it's not in the free version, as you can see. By the way, all the WP resets options are in the tools. So the cloud beta, which is right now disabled because it's not available until January 28th, but like I mentioned, it's going to be available after that. And then we have different options here. So the snapshot, I have turned it on by changing some properties. So automatically create snapshot before running WordPress reset tools. In other words, delete plugins or install new plugins or update plugins or themes and so on. Automatically create snapshot when doing updates. Okay, this option is separated than this one. So the other reset tools, just the reset tools here that we use, or the tools there. And the other one is when you update. So these are two separate options, but usually you will probably want to enable both of them. Of course, if you're using another backup plugin like WPVivid Pro, already does that, so you might want to turn them off. Use one of the or the other. Automatically create snapshot on a set schedule, so you can enable a schedule just in February. As you can see, it's not available yet, but you will be able to create a snapshot each and every X amount of time. A little bit similar again to a backup plugin. Store snapshot on the cloud, of course, is not available yet, but you'll be able to store your snapshot not only locally, but also in the cloud, if you have access to it, of course. Automatically delete automatic snapshots, because it will create a lot of snapshots. So if you want to delete them, you have the choice if they are older than X amount of days, or when you have reached a specific number of snapshots, like in my case here, I've set it to 20 snapshots. So as soon as I have 20 snapshots, it's going to delete the older ones. And finally, shows create snapshot action in the admin bar, which is this button right there, which is not available in the free version. So that makes the tour of the WP Reset Pro versus the free version. Again, right now it is available for a limited time as a lifetime deal if you have the specific link. And it also, I think it has a 40% rebate, but I'm not sure. I may mix it with the other one. So as soon as this date, which is January 23rd, is passed, they're probably going to add it to their regular site, but it will be a yearly subscription. So if you have the chance to be able to get your hand on the lifetime license, do it fast because there's only a couple of days left. So comments below if you were able to get your hand on it, if you have a similar maybe tools that you want to use instead, and why you will want to or not want to get WP Reset Pro. Thank you and have a good day.